Okay, okay,
and I have passed this list object in collections.sort method.
okay.
What will happen?
Um, it won't get affect this, and it will not sort because we these objects are custom. So to make the sorting happening, we have to write the proper. I think comparable or comparators, and where we will give the we have to decide like what is the as per the requirements. Employee should be sorted as per the ID or as per the salary or as per the name. So proper comparator or comparable method in which um, uh, we have met what is that, I forgot the particular name. So we have to write those methods accordingly as per our requirement, and we have to pass that comparator object to our collection.sort method.
And do I need to override equals and hash method too?
Uh, yes, yes, uh, because ultimately hash code and equals method generally works only for the primitive types. So if we have something other than that, so we have to override those.
Okay. And what are the scenarios where I would choose comparator and where I would choose comparable?
Uh, if we are allowed to make changes in the original class, so in that case we have to go, we can go for comparable, and also if the sorting is required on the default cases like on ID like that. But if we are asked to make sorting on the basis of some other than default things like name or any other, or a combination of ID and name like that, so in that case we have to go for comparator. And also when we are not allowed to make changes in the default in our class, original class, then we have to go for comparator.
And what kind of sorting algorithms are involved in collection.sort?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Okay, tell me a scenario where we would like to choose tree map over hash map.
Okay, so hash map is something like we have key value combinations, and we
I
just
mean, all the maps have key value combination.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. I'm coming to that.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I want to say you, that hash map is something like where we have only key value combination, and we just need to give the key and get the value, right? So that is the only thing. But in if we want to maintain some order or something like that, so for in that case we cannot go for hash map. In that case we should choose the tree map.
Okay, I want to maintain the insertion order. The order in which I have inserted my elements, I want to fetch in the same order when I iterate the hash map or map. Something. Would I choose hash map or tree map?
Insertion order. Uh, One second. Hash map. Something. Hash map won't maintain the order, so I think tree map should be used.
Okay. So how does it make a difference if I would have chosen the linked hash map?
Linked hash map. Hash map. Linked hash map. Linked hash map. Uh, as the name suggests, like linked hash map will be having the uh, will be having some dynamic index maybe. because in those the nodes will be connected to each other,
Mm-hmm.
but the memory are will not be at the concurrent places.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Tell me the different types of cloning in Java.
Cloning basically, I'm not sure, but I think you want to ask deep copy or shallow copy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So see, uh, what is shallow copy now? Whenever we are trying to make a clone, so
Mm-hmm.
generally it creates a shallow copy only. With the because there is a method in the clone in the object class, clone
Mm-hmm.
method, so that will create only a shallow copy. So what is shallow copy? um, let's suppose I have one person class, and in that person we have one address class, another dependency with
Mm-hmm.
address class. So address have many other attributes of street, city, state, like that. So
Mm-hmm.
shallow copy, what it will do, it will create a copy of person class, but all the attributes of address won't be getting copied, and it will refer the original one. So it is actually not a complete copy. On the other hand, deep copy is something where all where the person class, its address and all its attributes get completely copied, and a new copy of the object of person will be created, and the two objects will be independent of each other.
Okay, fine. Suppose consider I have only a person class
Yeah.
and I am creating an object of person class like person space P1 equal to new person.
Okay.
I am also again creating another object person P2 equal to new person.
Mm-hmm.
Now I am writing the third statement P2 equal to P1 dot clone.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What will happen?
Uh,
What will happen?
it will just create a shallow copy.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
actually, one thing we have to take care, clone method to work, we have to make the person class as a clonable. Only in that
huh.
case,
But as you said that there is a clone method in object class, right?
yeah, that is fine. Clone method is there, but cloning is a concept which is for the security purpose, which is not allowed actually. So to make it allowed, developer have to uh, give this clonable interface implemented to that class, so that anybody can clone the class. Otherwise, anyone can clone the class without the knowledge of developer. So that won't be a secure thing.
Okay, so my requirement for the person class is that I don't want anyone or I don't want my person class to get cloned.
Hmm.
I want to restrict the cloning behavior in my person class.
Yeah.
So how do I achieve this?
Just don't give the clonable implementation.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Okay, or anything else? Because I can extend my. Suppose I have another class. Imply is extending the person class, and we can do with the employee class.
Mhm.
Okay, so you are saying that we just don't want to implement a clonable.
Yeah, that is the primary